What's good, y'all? So I want to start off by saying that I am in between hairstyles, so don't flame me, okay? I'm not really in between hairstyles. I just do for a retwist, like overdo for a retwist. I'm gonna do it when I get done with this video. But that's what my hair look all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all not here because I'm cute, okay? I mean, I ain't gonna lie though. In this lighting, your boy looking kind of decadent, boy. And I got the glasses on, you feel? I'm taking them out, I'm putting them bitches back on, man. I'm gonna poke my eye out. All right, anyways, y'all been asking me to do a podcast for a minute. And since I'm trying to focus on doing my YouTube at the moment, I decided I'm gonna answer the questions and address the topics here. And I just made a little poll or whatever and got everything that y'all asked and kind of categorized them. We're just gonna go down the list, bro. So let's go ahead and hop into it. So the first topic I'm gonna address is life. I feel like that was the most requested topic across the board, and that's why I chose to do it first. I think I got a lot of good insight that can help some people out, and I'm just gonna tell some of my personal philosophies and then address some of the topics that y'all had within that. And I'm gonna start off with the difference between being good and being great. As y'all know, I've always strived to be great in life and everything that I do, in every aspect. And I think the difference between being good and being great is your mindset. Because when I think back to the hardest times that I faced in life, the obstacles that I had to overcome, it was always my mindset that got me through. And one of the things that I use to shape the mindset that I have today is taking the word can't out of my vocabulary, which I was taught by my dad at a young age, because he would always be like, if you say you can't do something, you ain't gonna be able to do it. So work for it. And when there's something that I wanted to do in life, that's what I always thought, like, I might not be able to do it right now, but I just ain't had the time yet. And so when it seems like I have all these skills and talents, only 3 of them were natural. Comedy, dancing, and athleticism. Those 3 things I was just naturally good at. But even then, when it came to being a dancer and being an athlete, I worked super hard to get where I am now. And comedy was the only one I feel like God was like, what, my boy, here you go, you got it. Because I don't practice, I don't write any jokes or anything like that. It's just a natural thing that I'm good at. So I'm gonna tell y'all this and never forget it. If you maintain a strong mind, you're unstoppable. I'm telling you, there ain't nothing gonna break you if your mind is strong. So keep a strong mind and a hopeful heart, and you're gonna be alright, G. Next up, we're gonna talk about failure, which I feel like has a very negative connotation for a lot of people because they think of failing as I'm not good enough. And that's not what it is, man, because failure is the pathway to success. You know what I mean? Like, you have to fail in order to succeed. And the amount of failures are not going to even be remotely close to the amount of times you succeed. I can't tell you how many times I've failed. I can tell you every single time I've succeeded at something. And I like to view failure as like a staircase. Every time I fail, I'm a step closer to where it is I'm trying to go to. And I think one of the reasons why people have such a negative view of failure is because they don't hear from the people that they admire how many times they failed to get where they got. As an athlete, a lot of times people they praise you when you're winning the gold medals and all of that, but they don't see the process that led up to that. They don't see you when you're at practice throwing up, the early morning workouts, like all the things that go into getting you where you're trying to go to. They don't see that. They just see the outcome, and that kind of takes away from it. And a lot of times people just don't feel like they're doing enough. And for me, I think sometimes it takes you getting where you're trying to go to realize that you're not where you want to be. Because that can happen to you. You think, man, I finally did it. And that moment, you feel all that, everything paid off. And you're like, yeah, I finally accomplished what I wanted, man. I'm where I want to be. I'm happy now. And then that feeling goes away like this. I can never forget when I was standing on the podium, I'm holding the medal. And I trained for this, yo. This is what I always wanted. And I got it. And then I'm like, okay, now what? And then that trophy just sits on the desk getting dusty with the rest of them. Really don't mean too much to me now. So my advice to you when it comes to failure is to embrace it with open arms and learn from it. That's the most important part. When you learn from it, that's what helps you get that next step closer to where you're trying to go. The next topic we got is loss. And this can be in terms of losing people, losing relationships, etc. And this is an area where I'm extremely experienced, especially when it comes to death. And the reason why loss is such a hard thing to talk to people about is because they're going to have a lot of questions that you can't answer. And that is probably the most stressful part. So what I can do is give you the things that I did to help me move forward when put in these situations. I've lost a lot of people that I care about. And the damage that it can do to you is, man, it is crazy. I lost myself. I lost my religion. I lost faith and just life, everything, my purpose, everything was just done. And so I had to dig myself out of that hole with content creation and art and sports. Like I had to find these anchors to keep me here until I found an understanding or a reason to keep moving forward. And the thing that I think helped me the most was trying, especially when it comes to death, was thinking about, the circumstances. So like a lot of people that I lost were killed, and just knowing that, they had their life taken from them, and I get the opportunity to wake up every day. I see that as like it'd be kind of selfish of me to not use the time that I have here to the best of my ability, because they were, that was taken from them. That is one of the reasons why I keep going, to make them proud. That's another reason why I keep going. And I also believe that if you wake up every day, that means your job ain't done yet. I still have something I need to do. I got more people to reach, and just finding that purpose and trying to understand why it is that you're still here, that helps me keep going. So if you're dealing with the loss of a loved one, loved ones, that is my advice to you. And I feel like that can work for just about everybody. I use that pain as fuel in life, and that's what keeps me chugging, man. Another thing I would suggest is venting, man. If you gotta get a notepad, or if you got a friend that you can speak to. If you don't have a friend, I'll be your friend, man. Hit me up. I'm pretty sure plenty of y'all have already reached out to me before. They can vouch. I'll get to you as fast as I can, but I got you. And man, we a family, man. So if you're going through a hard time, just leave a comment, man. I'm pretty sure somebody will reach out to you. But yeah, don't ever think you're alone here, bro. You're not. You might leave that way, you might have came that way, but while you're here, that ain't how your life gotta be. The next topic is loneliness. Now, I can say that I might have like a slightly biased opinion, but I think it's still valuable. At this current point in my life, being alone is absolutely, it's a choice. I choose to be alone because at one point it was not a choice, and I had to learn to exist lonely, And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like lonely is one of the worst feelings in the world. It is fucking terrible, especially when there's so many people on the planet, so many, and things, and you still feel alone. That is not good. But I do feel like it's very important for you as a person, and especially when it comes to like picking and choosing the relationships and people you give your energy to, that you are okay with being alone. Because once you are able to sustain yourself, you know that you're getting into things and people for the right reasons, and not trying to fill in holes that you couldn't fill yourself. And that's why I feel like a lot of relationships end up failing, because they go into this relationship to get a specific thing from the other person. And if they ever stop providing that thing that you're lacking, then you feel like that they weren't worth it. And that may not be the case. It's just that you're trying to find solutions within the wrong people. You should be trying to find these solutions within yourself. So when it comes to being lonely, I suggest you learn how to be alone. And then once you are comfortable with that, then reach out to people. Next, we got love. Now, I'm not going to front. Love is not my best topic, because I have not understood love for a very long time. And I had points and times where I tried to understand it. But see, it's like, I view love kind of like fire. If you've never seen fire before, you would explain it as something warm, bright, and welcoming. But fire is also warm, bright, and welcoming. So you can get burned with the idea of what you thought love was, and which is what happened to me 99% of the time. I never really had like that person that cared for me like that. People just ask me how I'm doing, stuff like that. And so when I'd run into a woman that seemed like she cared about me as a person, and that's something that I always lacked, I was thinking like, oh, they must really care about me. And I get in a relationship with somebody and I tolerate just some of the worst bullshit. Because more so because I didn't really care about too much. I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of laid back. But I could put myself in just terrible relationships, and I stayed because in my mind, like, the only person just really cared about me, and I was wrong. So don't allow your holes to make you get into the wrong relationships, man. But now with the experience that I have, I kind of understand what love is, and love is very much so unconditional if it's coming from the right person. Like, for once, I understood that I was never asking for too much when it came to relationships. I was simply asking the wrong people. And a lot of times we try to shape, we try to repaint people the way that we want to see them, put the colors that we like, and that's just not who they are. And so you have to take people as they are and know who you're dealing with. And then you have to make the choice to continue to deal with them. And that is the beautiful part, because I didn't know that was, a thing until I met the woman I talk to now, my baby, you feel me? But yeah, it's like, I'd be like, I gotta fix this about myself, so then I'll be worthy of, your time and all of this. And the whole time she's like, nah, I like you how you are. Like, it's cool. And of course, me being me, I'm still gonna strive to be the best I can be. And she ain't never saying not to do that. She's always encouraged me to be the best I can be. But if she had to take me as I am, she's gonna do that. So once I had that experience, my standards just like, oh, this is a thing. I didn't know that was real. Okay, cool. So never lower your standards when it comes to relationships, man. And unless you want people that's being unrealistic. But otherwise, yeah. Real love exists. It's just very hard to find, and sometimes, and like in my case, it would be right in front of you. Like, it's right in front of you the whole time. The things that I was asking for from all these other women, there was someone doing that the entire time, and I just never saw her in that light because she was so pure to me. It's like, I can't taint somebody like that. Like, she was way too valuable, and I appreciated her presence in my life, and I wanted to stay there. And so, I didn't want to take no chance in messing that up. But I took the chance anyway, and I sprayed that bitch. Yo, boy, got a jumper on to be fair. All right, cool. Next is purpose, which I feel like is a very touchy topic because, if you're like me, your purpose is very important. Like, if I don't have a sense of purpose, I don't have a desire to live. I'm keeping it a buck without the Billy Wild. Y'all know I'm going to be blunt at all times. So I try to maintain that. And currently, I think my purpose is just to impact as many people as I can in a positive way. Help out when I can, be present when I can, do things like that. And at one point, that purpose was different. And when I'm in between, trying to figure out what it is, I realized that you don't have to have just one purpose. You can have a plethora. So don't ever limit yourself to just this one thing. Exist in the ways that you're meant to. And I feel like you have to embrace your gifts. The things that you're naturally good at. And that is where I, found myself being a content creator, because I've always been able to reach people in a way that everybody else couldn't. And it's just like, what are you going to do with that influence? And hopefully it's been a positive influence. So, yeah, when it comes to purpose, man, don't beat yourself up too much. Just try to do right. Try to do right, and you're going to be all right in my book. And last but not least for this section, a very, very, very deep question. Wet socks. How do I feel about wet socks? Wet socks, honestly, when my sock get wet, it makes me want to go jump on my head. Like, it's arguably one of the worst things you can feel as a child or as an adult. That's a pain that will follow you for the rest of your life. You'll never forget about that wet sock. It just, something about it sticking to your feet. You really can't even get the sock off for real afterwards. It's very frustrating. And really, really hope you don't have a shoe on at the same time, because a wet shoe and a wet sock, that right there is a 13th reason in itself. So my advice to y'all is just never get your socks wet, man. Just be barefoot. Because a wet foot, that ain't nothing. A wet sock, my high brother. The next category we're going to be talking about is school. So a lot of people have been asking about me in school, and I'm going to try to keep this one just in one video. So I first went to college for dance. That was my first major. And so I got an arts degree, my associate's in arts, and then my bachelor's degree was in exercise science / fitness management, because I wanted to be a personal trainer. And my reasoning for that was my mom has some health issues, and I wanted to be able to help her out, get rid of that. She has a very, very large pill cabinet. It's like disturbingly large. She takes a lot of pills, and I don't like seeing that. I don't like thinking of my mom suffering. And so I went to school to be able to help my mom out. Sounds like kind of squishy, I know. I got a heart, man. Anyways, but yeah, that's what inspired me to be a personal trainer, and just helping people, get the body that they want, man, so their confidence can be higher and they can exist, happier. You know what I mean? And so anybody trying to learn how to get fit, bro, I can keep it short and sweet. This is all it's going to boil down to. If you're a person trying to lose weight, get into a caloric deficit, that means take less calories in than you normally do. That's how you're going to shred your weight. And exercise. But you're never, and I do mean never, gonna out exercise a bad diet. So making sure that you diet is way more important than making sure you exercise. But combining the two will help you shred that weight faster. And also being consistent. I always tell people when they ask me, be the trainer or whatever, to find things that you actually enjoy doing when it comes to exercise. Otherwise, you won't stick to it, because that is very true. A lot of people don't like going to the gym. That's just, that's a fact. So exercise for you could be skating, it could be dancing, gardening, whatever it may be. You know, find that thing that you enjoy doing that you'll stick to. Do that, and hey, make sure you getting them calories right, bro, and you're gonna be good. If you're trying to gain weight, you gotta get into, you know, eating more calories. That way you have something to bulk yourself up and then exercise so you can be shaped, you know, shape your physique how you want. You know what I mean? You want to be cut up, want to get the abs and whatnot. Now, obviously, when it comes to abs, that's all genetics, okay? You might not have genetically an 8-pack. You might have a 6-pack, might have a 4-pack, who knows? You know, some people might have a beer gut. It be like that sometimes. But, man, look, don't ever be discouraged, man, on your journey. And anybody that's really into fitness, they're going to encourage you and push you along the way, man. So good luck to all of y'all. All right, next up is probably the second most asked, and that was about track. So let's go ahead and hop into it. How did I get started? This is a funny story. I'm not going to tell the whole story because I don't want it to be too long, but here we go. So I played basketball in high school, right? And my high school coach was also the track coach. And during off season, they would make us go to the track for like the first month or two. We didn't touch a basketball at all. Like it's straight strength and conditioning. And we running and doing bleachers and all of this shit. And at the end of all of the bleachers and miles and all that, they make us run a 400. And every time we ran that 400, I would wrap that hoe. And so one day the coach was like, you know, run track for me. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. And he was like, I tell you what, if you don't run, you're not getting in the next game. So I'm thinking he's just trolling because, you know, my coach used to talk a lot of trash, man. And the game start, and I'm on the bench, man. I'm like, you know, why I ain't in the game yet? I'm like, he just bullshitting. So next quarter goes by, I still ain't in the game. Halftime come, I'm like, dang, bro, he really? I said, all right, I'm going to run. So as soon as we go out from halftime, I'm in the game, bro. I'm hooping. All right, so fast forward to track season. I came in around like district championship time. I think I had like a week to prepare for it. And I won district. And then I won regionals. Then I went to South State, which is the meet before state championship. I came in second there. And then I went to state. My first year running track, nobody else on the team had done that. So it's like, how this man just came in and beating everybody, you know what I mean? And I came in second in state. So after that, I'm like, I might be good at this track thing. So the next year comes, my senior year, and I'm like, I got to go out with a bang because as far as school history went, nobody had won a medal in like years, bro. Like the picture of dude was hella old. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to get a gold medal before I graduate so people are going to remember me. And I'll never forget, bro. I was running the open 400. Keep in mind, I was that guy on the team that ran every event. I was on all the relays. I ran just about every open event. I'm running the open 400, and my coach had told me that the guy on the paper that was the fastest, he said, get in his pocket, follow him around the track, and when he takes off, you take off because nobody's ever beat me at the end of a race for one, but nobody has faster top end speed than me. So he was like, once y'all get to the end, if it's just y'all two racing, you're going to win. So I listened to him, and I followed the guy, and it turns out he was injured. So the guy that I raced at South State, which we practically tied, we finished shoulder to shoulder, he was already ahead. I'm in third, the other guy's in second. And I'm like, why ain't he taking off yet? Because the other guy had already started sprinting. And then I realized he wasn't going to speed up. So I started chasing the guy in first, and I didn't catch him. I came in second, and I'm like, bro, why did I listen to him? He's like, oh, man, my fault. I didn't know he was hurt. So I was like, you know, he kind of hold me on my opportunity to get the gold. But I was like, you know what? I got one more race, bro. I got the open not the open 400, the 4x4. And I'm like, bro, I got to get a medal. Like, I got to get a gold, bro. I got to. And, bro, when I tell y'all, my team was in 6th place when I got the baton. I was the last leg. And right before I got the baton, man, my whole track career, my parents had never been to a track meet. Before I get the stick, I look back at the fence to my coach. My dad was standing beside him with a motorcycle helmet. In my brain, bro, when I seen my dad was there wasn't nobody or nothing that was going to stop me from getting this dub. Because I'm like, my dad showed up. I'm finna wreck y'all niggas, yo. So I take off. The dude that's in first is almost 200 meters ahead, bro. So like this race is pretty much done for. There's nobody that would have won this shit, man. I'm rapping that bitch. I get to the last curve, and I meet up with the guy that beat me in the open 400, and I'm like, Cruz, let's get these bitches. This man will tell y'all the story till this day, dog. And he's like, why are you talking to me during the race, bro? Like, you ain't tired? So I said, fuck it, he ain't leave. I just start hauling ass, bro. I mean, I'm weaving through people, bro. Like I'm in traffic, and like 10 meters before the finish line, bro. Dude was doing like this, you know, he's celebrating, showing off and shit. I passed that, man, and they got a picture of me passing the finish line like this. And I won the fucking relay race, dog. My coach was fucking hyped, yo. Till this day, the man called me state champ. But I clutched up for the team. And from that point forward, going in the track, I was always the anchor because I'm known for chasing people. But yeah, that's how I started track. The next question was, what was my favorite lane? My favorite lane was probably lane 4. I'm not gonna lie, that's usually where I was at. Or being behind the fastest person on paper, because like, you know, if that's the person I gotta worry about and I can see him, I'm just gonna chase them because I think of racing is like tag, and you're not getting away from me. That's not gonna happen. So that's usually how I beat most of those folks. And I don't like the idea of them being behind me because then they're doing the same thing. Then they asked, what are my PRs, official and unofficial? So officially, my 100 time, which I only ran my senior year of college, was 10.3. My 200 time was 20.77. My 400 was 45.9. My 4x4 split, my fastest split in the 4x4 was 45.1. My fastest split on the 4x1 was 9.2. And I think that is my 300 was, I can't remember. It was pretty fucking fast though. And my mile time was a 4:16, which I didn't train for because, you know, I'm not a distance runner. Unofficial, my fastest 100 was a 10.2. My fastest 200 was 20.46. My fastest 400 was 45, like 45.4 or something like that. And the splits were pretty much the same. But yeah, then people ask, how did I get so fast? I'm not gonna hold y'all, man. My coaches will tell you this till this day. I'm just naturally fast. I was fast before I got training, and honestly, like I worked hard to practice, don't get me wrong, but I never gave it my all in track because I just simply didn't like the sport. I like competition, but running, that's not something I think about doing. I haven't ran since I stopped running 3 years ago. So it's like, I don't get the urge to wake up and run in a circle. It's just not that fun, especially if I'm not getting chased by anything. If it's not life and death, I'm not running. But how I got so fast though, like when I was getting better, speed endurance, I feel like that's probably the most important one because if you can't maintain your top speed, it really don't matter if you're fast because especially like in the 200 or even in the 100, you know, it's scientifically, you can't hold your top speed for 100 meters. So the longer you can hold that and the longer you can like prolong your deceleration, that's what's going to help you get faster. And then after that is technique. And honestly, those two things are probably the most important. And of course, your block start. Now, granted, you can get away with not having a good block start, but your top end speed got to be ridiculous. But your form, when it comes to like the elite racers, that's the difference between like being great and being pro. Like your technique, that's what's gonna get you faster because it's gonna get to a point where no matter how much stronger you get in the weight room, you know, you're not gonna get any faster off of that. So it has to be form wise, you know, make sure that you're running in a straight line, you're not swaying when you run, not tightening up too much and tiring yourself out, you know, just those little things you gotta start fixing and critiquing. That's what's gonna get you to that next level. So make sure y'all train those things. And last but not least, why did I stop? I feel like that is pretty obvious because I absolutely hated running. And people didn't believe me until I got to the national championship. And after I got done, I got offered to run professionally. And I said no, like this. Like, I didn't even think about it. And it was like, why would you turn that down? Like, didn't you train for this your whole life? No, I didn't. I ran track so they can pay for my schooling. That was it. I was never happy about running track. I never thought to run track because, well, I simply don't care about it. You couldn't pay me enough money to run in a circle. Because then I'd have to train to run in that circle for the rest of my life. I don't want to do that, man. I don't want to wake up and run. I want to wake up and entertain people. That's what I love to do, and that's what I wanted to do. So that's why I stopped running track. Oh, and I almost forgot. Somebody asked if I'm still fast. Brother, I will burn you. I'm not going to hold you. I will burn you. My endurance ain't that great no more, but my speed, I still got it. Next up, we got content creation. So why I started. I started content creation like years ago, but I was only making dance content because I was a dancer. You know, my whole life I was known for being the dancing guy. Of course, I was like the class clown, but I didn't make videos like comedy videos per se. I just made like dance comedy maybe, but you know, just dance stuff. And that was just because I wanted to share, you know, my talent, you know, with the world and hopefully one day be on TV. And I was hoping like when we posted on social media that somebody important would see it and be like, oh man, let's get them on a TV show. That was the reason why I started content creation. And I was on Vine and Instagram, and I used to go by Fredo back in the day. So some of y'all might not recognize me, but y'all might have known of me because I was pretty famous back then too. And then when I started running track, I had to stop. So I went missing off of social media for like 6 years, I think. And I looked completely different. My voice changed. Like it was so much about me that it was different when I came back. And then I came back as Fredo on TV. The next question is, when did I realize I was good enough? I'm not gonna hold y'all. I realized I was good enough last year. I didn't. The reason why I was so skeptical about content creation is because I didn't know necessarily if I was good at what I was doing. Because if you don't have a huge following already, before like TikTok and Vine had Reels, and you didn't know if you were good based off of your views because wasn't nobody watching you. And it's not necessarily that you don't have the talent, you just don't have the audience yet. and I didn't realize that that's what it was. And so once TikTok came out and I posted a video, and it's the same content that I've always made, and they're like, now it's blowing up because more people are getting to watch it. It's like, I was never bad at what I was doing. I just wasn't, I wasn't being seen by people. So now that I've had that audience, and, honestly, it's just you guys. Like, y'all made me realize I was good at what I did. And then at that point, it became, I had to believe that I was good at what I did. And that's when I was like, you know what? I'm not working for nobody no more. I'm going to be a content creator, and I'd rather be homeless and on the side of the street making people laugh than, have plenty of money and food to eat but living a miserable life. Because to be true, I wouldn't enjoy living at all if I didn't do what I do now. Like, I live for this, for real. So I appreciate y'all, man. What is my process? It's very, very simple, believe it or not. So this is how I do. I'll get on TikTok majority of the time. This is where most of my videos come from. And I'll scroll through the feed and see if anybody tagged me in videos. That's the first thing I do because it makes it easier on me. And then I see if it's anything that I feel like I can got a good reaction to. If not, I'll go just on my For You page and I'll scroll and find videos. And then when I see something and I think of like a joke, I'll stitch the video, record it, and then I'll save it, screen record it, and post it on Instagram. That is it. I don't write down the jokes. Very rarely, and especially it's usually like if I do like the Denzel Flow videos, or like I do like the battle rap things. Most of the time, I'll come up with those freestyles in like 2 minutes. But I'll actually like type those out as I'm thinking of it. So it's like I'm thinking of what I would say and like the schemes I want. But they're not necessarily they're not heavily scripted. Like none of my videos take a long amount of time to make. So yeah, like even the freestyle rap videos, like almost everything I do is improv. So that's why it's very easy on me. And that's why I also say I don't see myself as like a stand-up comedian, because like I've never practiced writing jokes. I'm not necessarily selling comedy. I'm just selling personality. This is how I am day in and day out. I carry myself how you see in those videos. If you hung out with me, you would have a good time. That's just how I talk all the time. So, that's it. The next question was recognition in public. Is it annoying? I'm not going to lie. The last few times I've went out, and I don't go out very often because, I don't like being around people, just being real. I got recognized every single time. And it depends on how the people approach you. Some people approach you real cool, they kind of keep it casual, or they won't interrupt you doing something like, if I'm eating or skating, that's usually the only two things I leave the house to do. They'll go about it the right way and it's cool. I don't necessarily like talking to people though, especially like the ones in the club, like when a drunk guy walk up to you, oh, I know you, man, they're all in your face and shit, like, yo, get the fuck away from me. You know what I mean? Not trying to be an asshole, because I appreciate you, but it's like, bro, you know what I mean? You feel me? But anyways, I wouldn't necessarily say it's annoying, but at the same time, I would tell y'all, I've never cared to be famous. That was not my goal, but my goal required me to be famous. So it's like, it's a double-edged sword. I wouldn't, if I could be rich without the fame, I'd choose that. But I feel like when you do comedy, you need an audience, and that requires you to be famous. So it's like, you gotta be. Then they asked, what is it like being a collegiate athlete? I'm not going to hold y'all. It is glamorous on one side and suck on the other. So on the glamorous side, man, obviously you got clout on campus, bro. Everybody going to rock with you, especially when they know the team is cold, man. When you get them national championships and whatnot, you're going to have the ladies, the men's, if you're a woman, Yeah, you'll be set, you feel me? And you get a lot of free gear. You get to go on trips to places you ain't never been. You get to eat free food and all of this stuff, man. And like me, I was a poor kid, man. I didn't get to do all of this stuff, bro, and experience these things. So it was real cool. And going to these states I never been to, and going to the beach, seeing all of the things you never would have got the chance to see. That's cool. And the recruiting process, probably the coolest part, because you get spoiled, man. They do everything they can to make you feel valuable and loved, even though they really don't care. As long as you run fast, you're valuable to them. But the recruiting process, very fun. Outside of that, bro, it is fucking terrible. So you're gonna go to class in the morning. A lot of times you gotta go to work to go weightlift before you go to class. Then when you get out of class, you gotta practice. And when you get out of practice, then you gotta do homework. And when you do homework, it's you barely got time for that because you was at practice for so long, but you gotta eat and stuff still. And then you gotta repeat that every single day. Man, all that clubbing and stuff, the parties that they can be having on campus. Yeah, first of all, you can't drink or do no drugs like that because you get drug tested. So that's a done deal. If that's what you like to do, athlete ain't for you. And if you get caught up, that's your ass. You're gonna lose your whole scholarship. Now you gotta go back to the crib, you know what I'm saying, and go flip burgers and shit. But anyways, just all of that stuff that all the regular students get to do, you're not gonna have that experience, man, because you gotta dedicate yourself to being an athlete. And it's a small price to pay, but at the end, I feel like it was worth it. I wouldn't have changed it. I liked it. The next question was, how do I balance work and life? I'm not going to hold y'all, and y'all might try to get on to me about this because Bay does all the time. I don't balance work and life. My life is work. Like, I can't tell you the last time. Well, I can tell you the last time, actually. It's when I went to go see Bay. But anyways, I almost never, and I want to say, like, when I took that break like a week or two, that was the first break I had taken in 2 years. I don't take breaks. Like, I'm constantly thinking of content and like working on content and doing this because I'm not where I want to be at yet. And so, like, I'm just one of the people that's always trying to drive. Like, I gotta get there, I gotta get there, I gotta get there. Because tomorrow ain't promised, man. And so, like, I'm trying to make it happen. And that is why I grew so fast. Like, that's why people ask me, do you pay to get followers or like to get promoted? Nah, man, I'm just consistent. I put out a lot of content, regularly, and that's why I grew so fast. But yeah, I don't really know how to exist outside of sports and content creation. Like, I've always had something that I like occupied myself with, to where I don't just live to enjoy whatever it is that I do. In my regular life, I'm always living so other people can enjoy their life. And at some point, I hope I learn how to do that. And I'm trying more so now to do that, but it's very, very difficult for me. I'm not gonna lie. I've never necessarily cared for myself too much. And so now that I'm learning to love myself, I try to take care of myself better, man, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't do a good job. But I'm working on it. The next question was, why make videos with all my talents? So I'm not gonna hold y'all. I'm an athlete. I can draw, I can paint, I can work on houses, I can work on cars, I can do plumbing, I can do yard work. I can dance, I can rap, obviously. I'm a writer. Pretty much anything I set my mind to, I can do, but I can't sing. That's kind of trash. If I could sing, I had all the hoes. I'm just saying, but I don't want to know because I got baby. You feel me? Anyways, but yeah, why did I choose that? I felt like, personally, making videos allowed me to use every single one of those gifts and still be an entertainer. So it's like, I can show off all those talents in a broader range if I did content creation, as opposed to, or if I chose to be, I don't know, like a mechanic. If I'm a mechanic, I can make people laugh at the shop, but it's like, at the end of the day, I work on cars. Not really my cup of tea, but I can be a comedy creator that works on cars in my videos. I can showcase those talents in my videos without that being my main theme, because I'm not passionate about majority of those things. So that's why I make videos. The next question is, how do I deal with people reaching out, or how do I feel about it? I encourage it. And I feel like some of y'all can vouch for it. If you reach out to me, I'm almost always gonna get to you. It's kind of hard now, which I kind of hate, because I got a lot more followers and my DMs be flooded, so I can't see everybody's message. It's just me. I don't have a manager or anything. So I try my best to keep up with y'all, man. I'll tell you, add me on Snap, add my backup, because that DM ain't is flooded. I can get to you when I can. I've called plenty of people, just talk to them for a few hours if you need, at any time, man, because I got insomnia, I don't sleep like that. But yeah, like, I value y'all, man. I see y'all as like family. I don't think of y'all as fans. I think of y'all as supporters, or like my friends, man, that just support what I do. And so, I like to know that y'all doing good. The same way y'all, some of y'all be checking on me and making sure I'm all right. A lot of y'all be getting on my head lately about not sleeping, man. I try, I really do. But I appreciate that concern, man. I got that same concern for y'all. So if you're ever going through some things, man, you need somebody to talk to, you want to reach out, I encourage you to do so. And man, I'm gonna try my best to get to you. And last but not least is cancel culture. I feel like I'm gonna keep this one short because I got a whole video on it. You can go on my page and check it out. But to keep it very short and sweet, they can hold my damn dick. All right, next up we got my hair, which is always gonna be a topic. And being that I gotta retwist it, just out of curiosity, would y'all like me to post a retwist video one day so y'all can learn how to do it, just in case you ever want to lock your own hair up? For those of y'all that didn't know, I started my hair myself when I graduated high school, and I've done my hair the entire time by myself. So I don't let people touch my hair like that. I ain't gonna hold you. How long have I had it? I've had it for almost 7 years now, and I've trimmed it a few times. So my hair should be around about like right here, but and I'm probably gonna trim it again, to be honest. But yeah, I've had my hair for a good little minute. Definitely the longest commitment I've made, and I love it, man. It's just nice. It's easier to deal with, because I got tired of getting haircuts. I'm not gonna lie. And I cut my own hair too, so when y'all see my videos and you're like, oh man, who cut your hair? It was me. So like, if it's bad, I ain't gonna care. I ain't gotta beat myself up because I fucked my haircut up. And worst case scenario, I just throw on my hat, or throw on a bandana, you won't even know. So, that's it. All right, the next topic is comedy. The first question is, how did I get into comedy? So back in 2020, I think, I was just posting dance content on TikTok. And one day I seen a video that said, how do you know if a white person is low-key racist? And me being from Mississippi, I'm like, oh, I got plenty of answers to that. So I recorded my, response to that, and it went viral. Like, I got 3 million views. That was like the biggest video on my page immediately. And I'm like, I've been making dance videos all year, and none of them got to that point. So it's like, damn. And I didn't even put thought into that. That was just me genuinely just being myself and answering the question. And the whole comment section immediately fills up with like, why don't you ever talk on TikTok? And I'm like, I didn't think y'all wanted to hear anything I had to say. You know what I mean? Like, I just always dance. You know what I mean? So once I seen that people like, just my personality, I guess, because I never existed as myself online, I was like, I started doing this more often. And I kid you not, I had like multiple videos go viral in a short amount of time. I'm like, that's all I had to do. And I went from 250,000 followers to like 500K in like some weeks, like 2 or 3 weeks. And then from that point forward, I was at 1 million followers before the year even ended. And it was like, okay, so maybe I'm funny. And I think back to like when I was in high school, middle school, whatever, I've always gotten rid of for being a class clown. People always said I was funny, but I've never seen myself as like a comedian because like I said, I don't crack jokes. That's just how I am. And just embracing that natural gift of like being quick-witted and like, I roast people obviously, but like just embracing that part of myself, that's how I got into the whole comedy content thing. Next question is, what is my favorite form of comedy? I'm gonna have to say roasting. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like roasting makes you really good at improv because this ain't something that's scripted, man. You look at a person and y'all going back and forth and you just on the spot firing off jokes, man. You might miss one, but you send them at a speed that's like, I feel like me personally, the reason why people think I'm funny is because I say things you ain't heard before. So it might not necessarily be funny per se, but like it's funny to hear somebody say it because you would have never thought of it. You know what I mean? And so roasting is definitely my favorite. Or like storytelling. Storytelling is real nice. I like storytelling. It's interesting. My inspirations in comedy. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really have any, but there's people like I admire in comedy. Bernie Mac is my favorite comedian. Arnez J, I like him. Dave Chappelle is a legend, especially like when it comes to storytelling and like just being interesting to an audience. You don't necessarily always have to crack jokes. Martin Lawrence, when it comes to like TV shows, like skit comedy, Will Smith, they funny in that aspect. Key and Peele, legend. Like when it comes to like a well thought out joke and then like putting it on screen and delivering it, I love Key and Peele. Awesome. So yeah, those are people like I admire as far as comedy goes. And the last question is, who do I credit for my sense of humor? I didn't realize it until recently, but my parents are fucking hilarious, bro. Like my personality is very, very much so theirs, just mixed together. They're both funny as hell in their own ways, and I'm a combination of both. They're very silly. And honestly, I think my family in general is funny. I'm just the one that's not camera shy. So yeah, if you ever see a video of me and my family, especially like me and my cousins, bro, they're some goofballs, man. It's a good time. If you hang with us, it's a good time, man. You're gonna get some good laughs in. Now we're getting a little deep with the questions. They asked me, how do I feel about racism and religion, and how do I deal with them? So I grew up in Mississippi, so you already know racism ain't nothing new to me. In certain aspects, it's kind of hard to deal with because like when it comes to being a racist cop, I got to deal with that in a way that I absolutely fucking hate, which is just make sure I get home. I don't like tolerating people talking to me any kind of way, but it's like you got a gun and I ain't trying to get in this squabble. I'm just going to say what I can say, as little as I can without letting myself get angry so I can leave. And that's how I handle that. And I advise anybody that ain't, that's the route to take, bro. And I'm a hothead too, so like it hurts my fucking spirit, bro, to let somebody just, don't raise your fucking voice at me. Don't be talking to me like I'm your kid. Don't be calling me out my name. You know what I'm saying? All that's uncalled for, bro. And if you do that, me, I be want to pop off, but it's like, man, I might get shot, so I gotta play it cool. But other than that, man, look, you entitled to feel however you want as far as race go, man. Just keep your opinions and your hands to yourself, and we're gonna be cool. If you do something outside of that, well, you got to talk to Jesus about it, because obviously, if we couldn't set you straight on earth, well, I'm gonna send you to him so he can get you right, because I ain't the one. When it comes to religion, I'm personally a Christian. That's what I believe. If you believe something different, that's perfectly fine. If you don't believe in nothing, that's cool. I mean, that's your life, man. Live your life how you want. I don't think you should disrespect somebody's religion. I'm personally open to learning about other people's religion too, so I can understand them better, make them feel comfortable, and stay within they boundaries, man. I don't like to disrespect nobody and nothing like that. I'm from the South. We real big on respect, man. So as long as everything respectful, bro, it's cool, and that's how I address both of those things. I know racist people, and we can coexist, and then some of them I have to smack the shit out of. It can go either way. The next question I had is, how do I feel about weed laws? I'm not gonna lie, I don't smoke or drink, so I don't really care. But at the same time, I do feel like weed should not be criminalized anywhere, and nobody should be in prison over weed, bro. Just being real, because I mean, at the end of the day, it's a fucking plant, and the fact that black people was getting arrested and put in prison over weed, but now they can sell it legally. People selling it. What's the difference, bro? It's the same plant. You know what I mean? It's profitable for everybody now, and that's why it's cool. If it was so bad, like, why would it ever be okay to sell weed? It was never done. I've never met somebody that's violent, that's high. Like, those are the chillest people I ever came across. So, yeah, the weed law is definitely too strict. It's some bullshit, but, out of my hands. So, Next topic is music. And everybody know me and music got a very special relationship, man. If you can ever find somebody to make you feel the way music feel, cuff them. All right, so the first question was, what genres do I like? I'm a dancer, bro. I appreciate music completely. So any genre, as long as the music is good, I'm rocking with it. From opera all the way to rap. The other question was, what is my favorite genre? I don't necessarily have one, but I'd say rap, just because it's the most prevalent on my playlist, probably. It's either rap, pop, or like dance music. I don't know like the specific category, but it's like stuff that you dance to. That's the kind of music I like to listen to. And I had to answer this question separately because somebody asked me, do I like jazz music? Brother, jazz music is probably top 3 genres of music. Like jazz and blues, those are the only like forms of music where I feel like if you take the lyrics out, the music's still gonna speak to you. Like, bro, when I hear jazz and blues, man, just them instruments, dog, that shit, boy, it'll make you goddamn, you be bricked up sometime, man, because that shit just sound good. You feel me? Especially a saxophone, bro. A saxophone is the sexiest instrument on the planet, bro. That's my favorite instrument to listen to. And a harmonica, like, bro, come on, cuz. So, yeah, I definitely like jazz. Jazz and blues, I fuck with them real heavy. The next question I got was, how did I get into athletics? So, I was a very active child. Obviously, because, when you grow up poor, you don't really have much. So, you pretty much use your body and your imagination to have fun. And that's what I did. I also had health issues. Like, I just had to go to the doctor all the time because I couldn't, like, maintain weight. And I was unusually small. And so getting into athletics helped me build up an appetite the way I be eating all the time. And my dad gave me the nickname the Black Hole because I never feel hungry and I never feel full, really. So I'll just eat and eat and eat and eat and eat. But it's really hard for me now, especially now that I'm not an athlete, to like maintain my weight. So that's a struggle, but I'm working on it. And I had a love for competition, man. I'm that guy, like, you can have a breathing contest and I'm gonna try to dog walk you because I'm just built like that. And obviously scholarships, because like I said, I ain't had that kind of money. So getting paid to do something that simple, bro, I'm taking it. The next question is, how do I feel about pineapple on pizza? I've tried it, and I want to say it was not as bad as I thought it would taste, but I'm not gonna hold you. That shit is pointless, bro. Okay, you just wasting pineapples, and I feel like you could have saved it for something useful, like a pineapple upside down cake or something, bro. I don't know, SpongeBob house. The pineapple got wasted, and you really don't even taste it like that on a pizza. It's more so the texture of the pineapple that you get, and that's just unnecessary. So yeah, I'm not necessarily a fan of it, but I ain't gonna flame you too much for eating it. Next one is deep. Somebody asked, what's my thoughts on World War III, the thoughts on war. So I don't know the people that lead these countries, what they fighting over, anything like that. So I'm just going to speak on my thoughts on war in general. I think war is stupid. It's a dumb concept, and humans are by far the biggest issue with Earth as a whole, because they always fucking something up, man. It's like the idea of going to war because, two people can't reach an agreement. I feel like the war should be done by the people that have the altercation, you know what I'm saying? So, if Joe Biden, for instance, has a problem with, Putin, them motherfuckers should box. Should nobody else have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody else's life should have to be put on the line because of a disagreement that y'all having, especially when both of y'all could possibly be in the fucking wrong. You know what I mean? And then it's like, it's a power thing, bro. Because like when you win a war, you get to write the history however it is you want, which is why a lot of people view America as just this great place that does no wrong, and we all know that's not true. And so it's like, a war is just, to me, it's just evil. Because I feel like most of those people that's going off to war too, if they knew the people that they were fighting against, and like actually knew them as a person, they wouldn't want to take their life. But it's like you obligated to because you signed up for it, and you fighting for your country. But it's like at the end of the day, we all people, bro. And if a fucking alien raid came through, we gotta squad up. It's gonna be us versus them. That should be our mindset, period. We should all be together, but that's not how people work. Because if there's good, they gotta be bad. And I mean, shit, you know, like I said, all of those things be out of my hand, bro. Take it with a grain of salt. I hope that don't nothing crazy happen, bro. I don't think people know the science behind what could possibly happen if nukes get involved, and they gonna fuck up the whole damn planet, which is some human shit. So hopefully nothing too crazy happen, man. It's always sad that when life is gonna be lost, and hopefully it can get avoided. But like I said, I don't know these people and their intentions and whatever it is they fighting over, but hopefully it get resolved in a peaceful way. Next question is about gun control. Now, obviously, I might be a little biased. I grew up in the country, so I ain't got no problems with guns. I love guns. I know how to use them very well. Knives, all kinds of weapons. And I've never viewed guns as the problem, because they aren't. You know what I'm saying? Like people showed you before, you sit a gun on the table, it ain't hurting nobody. The guns ain't the problem, people are the problem. And the issue I feel like that comes up with gun control is that the process in which people get guns isn't strict enough, and the wrong people are getting weapons. And then when people do something wrong with the weapon, they aren't being dealt with harsh enough to prevent other people, or like to persuade other people not to do these things. And I feel like society is shaped to shoot I feel like the laws are the reason why so many people get shot, because if I have an altercation with you, and regardless to what's gonna happen, I'm gonna get sentenced. I'm gonna get a charge. I'm gonna get charged for this or that. There's no reason for me trying to fight you. It's like I got an easier way. I can just shoot you, and I'm gonna get charged for that. I might get away with it, to be honest. Self-defense. Why not? Like, what's the point of fighting? If fighting wasn't so frowned upon, I feel like less people would get shot. But it's criminalized, so it's like if you got two options, you can go home unscathed and you just pop somebody from afar, as opposed to getting in a physical fight. Now you all beat up. You gotta go to the hospital and shit, and then on top of that, now you might possibly go to prison. It ain't worth it, and you're ruining your whole life in the process. So yeah, I don't think guns are the problem. I just think the laws and how they go about giving out the guns or whatnot aren't how they should be. But again, that's a thing that's out of my hands. I personally keep a gun because I live in America, and you never know what's gonna happen. It's good to have it and not need it, than need it and not have it. So yeah, that's it. Next up, the topic is gaming. My opinion on Fortnite. I will say that Fortnite in itself, the game, the concept, was fucking genius. It's nice. And I don't think the game itself is actually bad. It's a pretty good game, man. Good concept and whatnot. I feel like like with most games nowadays, the community is what makes the game bad, because you got all these people that, they put their time and life into this game, bro. And most of the time, these not even the streamers, you know what I'm saying? These just regular ass people that be in the public lobby sweating. Like, they ruining the experience for everybody else that just want to get on and have fun. Like, now it's like it's a sweat fest on every game you get on, because you got these people that spend their entire life gaming, and that's all they do. And then instead of them playing in the ranked lobbies, with all the other skilled people, they want to go in the public lobbies and ruin your fucking time. So it's like, bro, I don't know. And the toxic shit, and I think creative mode was the worst thing that they did, because that made the skill, like the skill gap, just yeet. It's like if you don't have the time to practice doing all this stuff to be up there with everybody else, you're not gonna have fun in the lobby. And I don't think the matchmaking is very good either. But other than that, like the concept of the game, the stuff they add to it is pretty cool, man. That's a good game. The next question is, what is my favorite game? Jack and Daxter series was my favorite game. Specifically, Jak 3. That game is fire. And if you know me, you know that I don't really play solo games. But that is a game that I beat multiple times, and I still have it on disc for PS2. And then aside from that, Assassin's Creed, I love that game. Skyrim. Those are like the only 3 solo games I actually play. So to me, those are like my top 3 games. Those are fire. Next, we got my goals for 2022. My goals for 2022 are to leave an impact on as many lives as possible, and of course, it be positive. Become more patient. I'm a very impatient guy. I got a lot of anger built up from like stuff that I went through in the past, and I don't like that just marinating my spirit. So I want to unpackage more of my baggage from the past, so I can be the best version of myself that I can be. I want to hit 100K on YouTube, obviously, so I can get that plaque and feel like I did something in my life. Hit 1 million on Instagram. Hopefully they get my verification mark at some point. They should have been did that, but that app kind of busted too, just like TikTok. Be on a show or a movie, or like a guest on a podcast. That'd be something cool to do this year. Be a better person every day than I was the day before, and cuff the girl of my dreams, which I did. I mean, hey, you feel me? Your boy got the dog. You feel me? Hey, light me up in the chat. And last but not least, get a new car, because I've been wanting to get a new car for a long time, man. But I gotta get rich real quick, so we're gonna do that. and your boy gonna be whipping like this here. You feel me? I'm gonna make some content in the whip so y'all can see it. And you know I gotta customize it. It's gonna be a fucking sick car, bro. The next topic is fighting. Have I been in a fight? I've been in a lot of fights. A whole lot of fights. Fighting was definitely a part of my upbringing because, well, you know, just a bunch of kids that ain't got nothing to do, ain't really got nothing, but fighting is only bound to happen. And I don't really like people flapping their lip too much. That don't ever do too well with me. And you definitely not going to put your hands on me and think I ain't gonna do shit about it. So fighting, got in a lot of fights. Have I ever lost a fight? I lost a fight to my older brother and 2 other people who were like 5 or 6 years older than me at the time, which, I mean, they never counted as me losing, but I'd say like if they counted me losing to anybody, it'd be them. And they weren't really fights, to be real. So, but we're just gonna say 3. But in my adult and teenage years, I haven't lost a fight. But at the same time, I don't underestimate anybody because you can get folded at any time, and I don't want that to be me. So yeah, I can hold my own in the fight. But now I try to avoid getting in those altercations because now if I get in a fight, you know, I'll get arrested, and then, you know, Fredo on TV gonna be Fredo in a penitentiary, and that's just not gonna go too well for me. The next topic is anime. What is my favorite anime? Dragon Ball Z. Now, Dragon Ball Z is my favorite. I will say more so not because the storyline is better than everybody else's or nothing like that. It's just the one that's the most memorable in my childhood, and the characters that I like the most. My favorite anime character is Kid Buu, because this nigga was just untapped anger and aggression, and he thrashed all these folks and they had to jump him because he was too cold. You know, just real cool dude, man. I like Kid Buu. Rock Lee's one of my favorite characters. Inosuke, Saitama, those like my favorite anime characters, man. And you know, there's plenty of other ones, but yeah, Dragon Ball Z is my favorite anime, and I love anime as long as there's fighting involved. I like action. You know, I don't really watch the other genres of anime, but if it's action or, you know, stuff like that, that's what I'm all with it. Next question is, if I could have any car in mint condition, what would it be? A 1997 Mitsubishi Eclipse. That car is fucking fire. And of course, I gotta put the aftermarket parts on it. You know, Need for Speed that bitch up so I can look sexy on the street with it. You know what I mean? That's how I am. I'm a Need for Speed kind of guy. So whatever car I get, you won't never see me. Even if I get rich in the future, well, I say if I'm gonna get rich, but when I get rich, you're not gonna see me with no Lamborghinis and, you know what I'm saying, all of these expensive ass cars these rappers be buying. I'm gonna have, you know, a Nissan Skyline if I can acquire one. I feel like that's a hard car to get your hands on. You know, a Nissan 350Z. You know, the Eclipse, obviously. A Supra, that'd be fucking lit. I like the 90s, the 67 Mustang, bro, the fastback. Man, if I can get one of them, that'd be love. I love that car. A Camaro SS, the old school drone, you know what I'm saying? Like one of them. I'm an old school cat, man, so like I like the older cars, but yeah, I'm definitely a car guy. The next topic is me. People want to just know some stuff about me. So my height, I am 6 foot, and I am 24 years old. I am from Mississippi, and they asked, am I okay? Honest moment. There's a lot of times, and I mean a lot more times that I'm not okay than I am okay, but I will be all right, and that's what I always tell people. I won't lie to you about my condition. You know, at the time, I am currently doing all right. I'm pretty good. Y'all definitely ask me that because of my eyes a lot of times, so as y'all can tell, I got insomnia if y'all didn't know. So people was thinking like I got beat up the other day because my eye was real black. I just didn't sleep. So nah, I ain't getting no fight, man. I can't sleep sometimes. I got a lot of issues, but I be working on it. You know what I'm saying? I try and do all the things I can to help that out. But yeah, I'm doing all right, man. I'm in a decent mental place. I ain't got no issues, man. You know, hey, life gonna be better. You feel me? Better days are gonna come. The next topic I have, or I guess there was a question, is what was it like struggling growing up? I'm gonna tell y'all, man, because a lot of y'all might not ever experience it, and I hope not. Man, struggling growing up was fucking tough, man. It was tough for a lot of reasons. For one, you feel kind of stuck in a sense when all the people around you kind of have that, like, man, this is all we ever gonna have kind of thing. You know, like, you know, why is our life like this? Like almost like a pity party, and it's like that ain't gonna change nothing. So I'm always thinking of like, how can I get out of this situation? Because I ain't never gonna live like that. That was my motivation. I never necessarily want to have no kid or nothing like that, but I got like younger siblings. I was like, I don't want them to like live their life how I did, and they're not that much younger than me. But it's like at some point I want them to be able to live a life and like, man, this is lit, and they get experience the things they want to experience. You know, when we couldn't, and like just, bro, I'm telling you, some of the worst things probably struggling wise, like not having clothes like that. And like when people talk about you for not having clothes, and of course, like, you know, I'm older now. Like these people didn't know what I was going through, man. But like, you know, when not having clothes like that, especially like when in the winter time when it gets real cold, you know, like just not having like heat and air in that house, bro. And like when you all bundled up on the floor with your siblings, man, just trying to stay warm and shit like that, yo. Like, you know, the stove be the heater sometimes, and if the stove break, you fucked. You know, sometimes you gotta go outside and make a fire in a barrel or some shit. You know what I mean? It's hey, you know, and I feel like struggling honestly shaped me as a person though, because like that's where my survival skills came in and all these things and how I carry myself, my mindset. You know, how I'm appreciative of the smaller things in life. I feel like that came from me struggling, like just not having things, and you know, you learn to appreciate the stuff that you do have. Because honestly, it could always be worse. Like, you know, the ceiling in my house falling in. You know, you dodging the roof, you might get hit in the head with some sheetrock in the fucking morning. You don't know, man. A tree fell on my house. You know, so water will rain. Like when it rained, water will be pouring inside of my house, and you just gotta like go get pots and shit and fill the buckets up and you dunk them bitches out and put it back over there so the floor don't get wet, and then the floor's gonna be fucked up. You know, fucking snake crawled through the floor because there's a hole in the floor. You know, snakes. I lived in the woods. You know, snakes, frogs, salamanders, like anything outside can possibly pull up in there, bro. And you don't want to get pulled up on by no snake while you sleep. You wake up, see a fucking snake, now you sleep. So, you know, killing snakes, I learned how to do that. You know, you learn how to do a lot of shit you wouldn't know how to survive, like when the power goes out and, you know, the water's off. And you gotta know how to survive in that. Like I know how to do that because it's happened so many times. So when that happened like last year and everybody in Texas was freaking out, I'm like, that was normal for me. So when that time of year came, like I'm already knowing what I'm gonna do. You know, learn how to cut down trees and, you know, all stuff like that. Know how to build stuff, and like it was tough. More so like it was tough just like, when you hungry and you ain't got food. Seeing stuff like your parents sacrifice, my mom especially, like the things she sacrificed and had to do to make sure we was alright. That's heartbreaking, man. Seeing your parents cry, or like when Christmas time come and they feel bad because like, you know, I don't feel like I can get y'all gifts, and it's like it's cool, bro. I'm good. Just man, I'm telling you, it's a lot to go into it, man. And not being able to like field trips and stuff people used to go on, and you couldn't go on it because you couldn't afford it. Like you know, lunch and all of that, man. It's a lot to tie into it, bro. It'd be rough, but I do feel like struggling builds character. But I don't think anybody should have to live like that. And if you can learn those things and those qualities from somebody that did go through that, I think you should. But yeah, man, I'm telling you, it's tough, bro. It is tough. Like I remember my house almost caught on fire, and my mom she got all of us all out the house, and like the kitchen's just like flames everywhere. The ceiling's probably black to this day, and she didn't let the house burn down because we couldn't. Like if we would have lost it, we wouldn't have had shit. We already barely had anything. She couldn't. So my mom stayed her crazy ass in there and put the fucking fire out. She up in there firefighting with regular household things, but she ain't got a fire extinguisher. She up in there using water and shit. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. My mom, wow, she using flour and whatnot. She trying to smother it. But she put that motherfucker out though. So and stuff like that. Man, my mom fucking cold, bro. My mom was a cold woman. But yeah, just you gotta appreciate what you got, man. That's all I can tell people, man. If you ain't never had the struggle, I can tell you this: appreciate the things you have and the upbringing that you had, because you got it good. The next question is, what would I do if I had 3 wishes? The first 2 are kind of cliche, not gonna lie. World peace, obviously, because you know I'm a laid back dude. I like peace, man. Everybody cool. 2, restore Earth, because we done fucked this motherfucker up. We done messed up way too much, man. And California finna fall off the United States in a few years. You know, it's crazy. And the last one is 400 IQ. Wish for another genie, because you can't wish for more wishes. But if I just get me a new genie, that's 3 more wishes, and I can keep repeating the cycle. Big brain plays. Next, we got dancing. So I'm not gonna cap. I've been a dancer my whole life. They got footage of me as a baby dancing to music. So like this was just one of the things I was born with. I was a self-taught dancer, and I literally would go outside every day with my big buff ass headphones and practice day in and day out. Like that's all I did. When I wasn't at school, I was dancing. When I was at school, I was dancing. I was getting in trouble in school for dancing in class during the lessons. Like it was just like dance was life for me, bro. And I got into like social media at some point to, you know, chase after my dream of being on TV. And then I went to college, and my first degree was in dance. I got an arts degree. And that's why I got some training formally for ballet, tap, modern, improv, African, jazz. And I learned like a few other things, you know. But yeah, I got like the formal training of all that. I learned how to do all these different forms of dancing. So yeah, if y'all didn't know, I'm definitely a well-rounded dancer. And then I joined the dance company Montage. Technically, I was like the mascot, because like I was an athlete, and so I couldn't be in the thing because like they kind of counteracted each other. But since I was a dancer and I was always there, I was still like on stage. I could perform with them, but I wasn't necessarily on the team. But they gave me like the gear and whatnot anyways, because I couldn't sign up to be in it though. So anyways, yeah, I performed with them. I got my first solo, and I got a standing ovation. But that's probably the video most of y'all like seen me on, went viral years ago, of me doing the thing with my arm, and it looked like Squidward. That was like my first really viral video. That's how most people knew of me before I started making comedy content. And then because of that, I met two people that were on the show, Bring It, and we became friends, and they asked me to be on the show, and they talked to the producer, and so I got to make my dream of being on TV come true. And then the last question is, would I teach an online course? If that's something that y'all would like, absolutely, man. Y'all just let me know, bro, and y'all, you know, I can set that up, and we can get that joint going, bro. Y'all gonna be some dancers out this bitch. And the last question, man, who are some people I can't vibe with aside from racists, pedophiles, etc.? So like the normal suspects. I can't be around negative people, for one. I feel like they drain me, and like just the fact that you can't ever find nothing good to talk about, it's just, you know, I don't need that around me. People that got a lot of drama, I don't like drama at all. The reason why I don't have drama is because I don't talk to people, and people are always bringing drama. I hate gossiping. That shit is annoying. Like, what are you got something else you could be talking about? Like, talk about something good. Ignorant people. The ignorant people make me violently angry. I can't stand ignorant people. That is like the worst person on the planet to me. And people that are closed-minded. If you're closed-minded, I just don't think, like, I'm way too open-minded to be around you. And it's not necessarily that I want to like shape you into my way of thinking. It's just consider that you could possibly be wrong. And I'm the same way. Like, if I'm wrong, you know, I want you to open my mind, or like, you know, show me where I'm not right, so I can get on the path to being a better person. And yeah, that's it. I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Everybody that's sending in a question or a topic. I look forward to doing it again. If y'all got more stuff y'all want to see me discuss, or maybe like in deeper detail on one of the topics, just leave them in the comment section if you got one. I appreciate y'all, man. I probably don't say it enough. Like, I really do appreciate y'all, boy. Y'all changed my life. Y'all are continuing to do so. So, man, as long as y'all enjoying my content, I'm gonna keep putting it out. Much love to y'all, man. Y'all be easy. Y'all be safe. And hey, love you, cool.